Hello Internet, and welcome back Pokemon fans. I'm super excited to continue on our way of trying to collect all of the TFG, and with this we have another part of Pokemon Groundbreaker figures. These are so amazing, but so incredibly rare. Now, before we keep going, as I might have mentioned in the title, one of these figures is fake. See if you can spot it. And aside from that, one of these figures is not a Groundbreaker, but a lot of you probably have already seen that one at the very least. But we will ignore both of those and come to them as we go, because right now we're going to be taking a look at some of these really amazing Groundbreaker figures. This first one we're going to take a look at here is Bulbasaur. Now, this Bulbasaur is a really interesting one because everyone I show this to keeps pointing out, his vines are so thick, why? And that is really weird. So if you see one and you kind of think it's a fake, that's actually what he's supposed to look like. This Bulbasaur seriously did just have really thick vines. I don't really know why. I really like how his face kind of comes to a point. I don't know. He looks like he actually has a lot of anatomy in him that's actually working. He seems like that frog monster that he always was supposed to be designed to be. I don't know. I just really like this look of Bulbasaur. And especially since he's the starting line, he's actually got those vines that seem to be, you know, kind of, I guess, cutesier and less threatening than the Venusaur. Which is funny because he's actually also, the Venusaur is also a Groundbreaker figure. So it's another evolutionary line that has two of the same Pokemon lines inside the same TFG set. That's so weird. But anyway, this Bulbasaur actually looks really interesting. I really like how he looks. He's actually a really hard one to get a hold of, and typically he's going to go around $80. Yeah, he is pretty hard to get a hold of. So let's take a look at the bottom of this guy, just to get a look at it. This one's actually interesting because, okay, I kind of startled there for a second because I'm like, wait a minute, it's not clear plastic. This is kind of worrying me because I'm like, is my Bulbasaur fake? But no, I can actually tell. Okay, that would have probably freaked out a lot of people at home too, but the thing is, the reason I can tell he's real, so you can see right there, that is clear plastic holding him together. It's just for some clear I'm talking in this green area right here, you can see that. So what's really strange then is that this Bulbasaur was actually painted over onto the bottom. Maybe all of the TFG figures were actually intended on doing this. Some of them do have paints on the bottom, like I believe Armaldo does, and it's kind of weird. Like, why do they look like that? But yeah, it was kind of just really startled me, like, wait, what? Don't even tell me my Bulbasaur ain't real. But anyway, that is the Bulbasaur figure. Really excited to finally get him because I've been super excited of trying to complete the Groundbreakers, and he's one of them that I've actually seen around a few times and never had the opportunity to get him. So I'm super glad I finally have a Bulbasaur of my own. Now, the rarest one of this whole set is more than likely the next figure we're about to look at. This is insanely rare, a Girafarig. Now, though this is not the fake figure that we're going to be looking at today, it actually has a custom fake base. This base that Girafarig is supposed to be standing on does look exactly like this, but the thing is, this is probably one plucked from like a Raticate or something, because this Girafarig is actually supposed to be standing on another grass base, and this one was actually custom swapped over onto this one. So he was probably just missing his own base for that. So, you know, I'm fine with it. That's awesome, because it chucked down a whole lot of his price, because honestly, Girafarig is one of the most expensive TFGs. He's insanely expensive. He actually sold for more than any other TFG I've ever seen when he was in great shape. The highest one I've ever seen sell was, I'm not kidding, for $650. I am not kidding, guys. That is how much this thing has gone for at one point. Now, there's no way to know if he's actually supposed to keep going for that or what the heck the deal was, but yeah. This Girafarig figure is very rare and very expensive, so I'm super glad I actually found one of these things. Man, I'm so glad, especially because I really like the colors he also brings to the collection once he's got them all together like that. Man, it's just really cool, really nice. So, just to take a look at the bottom if you were curious, you can see it looks like just one of those custom painted bottoms. Probably just kind of messed around with a Raticate base is my assumption, because it's probably the easiest of the TFG figures you could have just grabbed to replicate his grass base from, plus his feet would have been in similar places. Alright, so, speaking of ones with a grass base like this, let's jump right ahead and take a look at Cacnea. Cacnea is really cool. I really like the Cacnea line. I wish I'd actually raised more of them in the games. I would like to see like a Cacturne TFG figure. That'd be pretty sweet. But I really like actually the pose of this guy. He's kind of like dancing or something, but Cacnea always seems to be jiggling around and dancing anyway, so he's kind of swinging his arms. I really like how Kyoto understood like how to make certain portions of their body larger to, say, show movement, like the Machop from the Next Quest set. It's really nice how they actually went through all that effort to do that. It looks so good, and especially how you can show how his arms are twisting, and man, really, really well done. So if you are curious, the mouth parts are actually not carved in. Those are just kind of shapes on his face. The eye sockets are actually there. Those will create their own shadows, so that's pretty cool. This is all a really, really detailed figure for how tiny he really is, which is really nice. So the bottom of him is also clear plastic, as we can see here. Actually, I say also, but he's technically the first one in this episode who actually has clear plastic underneath him that's not painted over. So this is technically what the bottom of your Cacnea should look like. He has the looks like the hexagon shape underneath him as well, so that he would fit onto the new Groundbreaker bases, of which I don't think I have a single one unless I decided to take some of them apart, which that's not going to happen. So this Cacnea figure is actually another really rare one that his price, honestly, he's like a wild card. I've seen him go like for $30. I've also seen him go for $180. I honestly can't tell you what is a good price to find him at because he's just so rare. He's pretty much whatever the seller wants to sell him at. So, I'm sorry, you're kind of being thrown into the wind there. You gotta just get whatever he's going for. So, let's jump right ahead to a much more common one. We're gonna take a look at Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is one that, fortunately, is not too hard to find. I say that because it's actually showing up quite a lot on eBay nowadays, so that's really cool. Mine's kind of got some gunk in the head fluff thing, but it's not even really showing up that well on camera, which is great because I'd rather it not show up very well at all, because this Jigglypuff is actually a really interesting Groundbreaker figure. I like the pose. I don't know, nothing else had like, they had, I guess, elements that seem to attribute their character, and Jigglypuff has a music note, which is just strategically attached to its ear. I don't know, it's so odd to be a figure. It's just so well done. It's also weird to note that its small base is actually smaller than the TFG round, which is kind of weird. But, oh well, I still think it was a really interesting figure, and it would have been really nice to actually start playing with some more of these more common Pokemon. And by common, I don't mean like how easy the figure was to find. I mean like the Pokemon itself is actually pretty common. So, I mean, the actual effects of the TFG in the game was so interesting. I really just wish we knew all of what these Pokemon did. Man, the game actually, I really wish it can come back. It's such an awesome game. So, the mouth itself is actually carved out right there on the Jigglypuff, which is interesting to cause more shadows. The bottom actually has a little bit of clear plastic, but only underneath. So this one's kind of weird. It actually looks like it's another one that's opaque. So it's kind of odd that I actually selected these groups of Groundbreakers together, because these, aside from Cacnea, all seem to have solid bases. Man, if I swapped him for Armaldo, that would have been just it. Like, what's going on here? Alright, so if you haven't figured it out yet, this Kabuto back here is the troublemaker. He is fake. Now, the main reason I knew that, and I knew that when I bought him too, is because I actually did not even have the opportunity to buy a real Kabuto yet. I just kind of wanted a really nice looking standalone. This was being sold on eBay for like $8 or so, so I was like, hey, awesome. It's just a replica of the Kabuto figure, which I haven't even seen a Kabuto. So, I mean, I guess for now I'm just going to have to accept that this is my Kabuto. But, it's not that bad because he's actually painted really well. So, this is the rest of his base around here. His rocks are actually really well done. Much better than my Linoon that I did in the last episode. But the real giveaway that shows that he's fake is this. You can see that he was made out of a white clear mold and then painted later. And the biggest issue with this figure that I have is the fact that he actually does not have that notch, so he can't sit on one of these bases. So that really stinks. I can't even, pose him as a real TFG figure. It's just a tiny Kabuto. So if I get the chance to get a real Kabuto, I definitely will. I might show him in another video. I'm not sure, because honestly, when we do another Groundbreaker video, if we get to do another Groundbreaker video, it's going to have so many rare TFGs in it that more than likely, I'm probably just going to ignore the fact that, hey, I got a Kabuto, and be like, oh my gosh, guys, look, Sabrina, Koga, Spinda, Mankey, they're so freaking rare, and that's probably going to be the whole video. But Anyway, so we're going to jump right ahead to the final guy who is not the one from Groundbreakers. I did want to bring a video just where I can show you guys the Judge figure, because I completely forgot about him when I said before I was complete with Next Quest. The reason I bring this up is because I just recently got this Judge figure. It took me a long time to do it. He is technically a promo from the Next Quest set, but he's still insanely rare. The only way to get this Judge figure, assuming he was actually on his base properly, I have a prototype one, was to buy a starter pack of Next Quest that came with Flamethrower and Riptide set and had a Judge inside of it. So it was all one giant package, and man, those things go for a lot of money. Most of the time people leave them unopened, but then a lot of people will rip them open to try and get the Judge out of them. The Judge basically had a spinner that had 25% black, 25% white, 25% black, 25% white, and you would spin him and use him as a coin flip. What's really interesting is there's pretty much no coin flipping in the entire TFG, as far as I remember. So there might have been a few things where there was like a clash between two Pokemon and you had to like flip to decide who was the winner or something like that, I don't know. But maybe the rules would actually say something along the lines of where this guy was supposed to be used, because as far as I know, he wasn't. So just another interesting trainer figure that we never actually got to see. He's probably my rarest trainer figure. He is really hard to find, guys. Really hard. And then just this figure alone can go for like 80 bucks. Yeah, he's a lot. He's seriously a lot. And I kind of wish that I actually had mine on the original base, because that would buff his price even more. So it's kind of a bummer that mine's not like that, but it's okay because I finally technically found this Judge guy, and I can cross him off my list and say, hey, you know what, fine. I'm technically done with Next Quest now. Got them all. And now at this rate, man, this is going to be the last Groundbreaker video in quite a while, because, man, these last ones, like I just said, are going to be so insanely hard to find. So, just to quickly run through them really quick one more time. Like I said, guys, I am looking for Mankey, I am looking for Smoochum, I am looking for Spinda, I'm looking for Zubat, Xatu, Koga, and Sabrina. If I can find any of those figures, if you guys can help me with any of those figures, please comment below. Let me know where you think I can get a hand and try and find these guys. Anyone can give me a hand, send me some links. That'd be amazing, because other than that, this is going to be our last Groundbreaker video for quite a long time. And hopefully that's not going to be the case. Really hoping that's not going to be the case. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next episode of Pokemon TFG. See ya!